Hi, I'm Wendy from Encore Living. If there's one piece of advice I could give my younger self, it would be this. And I want to share it with you and a little bit of the story behind it. When I was in my early 50s and I was starting to lose everything, things were not going well. A friend of mine at work, she came in with a video, and the video was called The Secret. And she said, Wendy, you should watch this. It's good. You'll like it. And I said, no, I don't want to watch it. It's just another piece of yes, we can fix you and just pay for this movie and we'll fix you. And I said, no, I don't want to. And she says, no, I think you'll really get something out of it. So I said I would. And I took it home and I didn't do anything with it for a few weeks. So finally I sat down and I watched it. And it was like somebody had lit the pilot light in my life. It was just little, but it got me thinking, and it made me realize that if I wanted all this negative crap that was coming into my life, I just needed to keep thinking exactly the way I was. I was always reacting to things. I was being very reactionary. When bad things happened, I reacted to it instead of taking the lead. I wasn't creating my own happiness. I wasn't creating things that I wanted. I was just reacting all the time. So at that point, I decided I had to take action. And believe me, my life didn't get better right away. As a matter of fact, it got worse. With my husband, it was the recession, and my husband was losing his business, and my son was ill, and he would leave home, and then he would come back, and then he would leave home, and he'd come back. And so I found that I thought all these things were my responsibility. I had to fix all this stuff, so all my plans could wait. And so I did. They waited for a while, and I kept trying to fix things that were unfixable because they were not my things to fix. But I kept trying. And then as time went on, I began to realize, I can't keep putting things off forever. I want to go back to school. I want to become a travel agent, and I'm going to do it anyway. So I took out a student loan. I maxed out my credit cards, and I went back to school full time, and I worked part time. And in the end, I succeeded. I graduated top of my class, and I did my practicum, and I was all set to get started as a travel agent as soon as I could find someone who was willing to employ a woman in her 50s. Well, I ended up working for myself, but I was hired on commission basis for a company, and I was just really loving it. This was what I had always wanted to try. I wanted to do, and yep, there I was doing it. So anyway, as time went on, things didn't get better for the economy and things. So, but I was still struggling to get my own business off the ground, and I changed the way I was thinking. Instead of always being reacting to things, I was starting to push ahead and have more confidence in myself and believe in myself. And that was what should be doing. I should have always been doing. So my advice is this: when I was younger, and the same as you, if you have children, then you have to put them first when you're younger. But as you get older, you should be first. You should be on the top rung of your ladder. And as things happen around you, if somebody becomes ill, or your partner becomes ill, or they're struggling with something, or there's some drama in the family, or whatever, yes, you should help them, but don't be a martyr. Don't give up your life, the one life that you have, so you can take care of other people. That's not your responsibility. It isn't. You can help where you can, but you have to help yourself. You have to believe in yourself so that your life can have, you can have meaning. You can become what you've always wanted to be, and do the things that you've always wanted to do. It's your time. You should start doing those. So I guess, now life has moved on. I'm in my late 60s, and I'm really loving my life. And I'm lying because I'm actually 71. So as my life has proceeded, in my 60s, life got a lot better. And now they are really great. I am doing what I want. I've written a book talking about all these things, and I'm now doing my YouTube channel, and I hope it's going to get bigger and bigger, and I can interview people at some point. But I'm having fun. I'm joining organizations that I love to be in, like the Red Hatters, and yeah, I am. I volunteer my time where I want, but no more being a martyr. This is my time, and I wish I had done it sooner. Okay, so yes, that's all I have to say today. If I give one piece of advice to my younger self, it's do not be a martyr. Put yourself on the top rung and continue helping all those around you if you need to, but you have to come first. All right? Because otherwise you're throwing away the one life you've been granted. And that's it for me. That's all I've got to say. So if you like what I've said, then please subscribe. And if you have any comments about things that you've learned, the one thing that you would pass on to your younger self, then please share it in the comments and we can talk about it. Okay? So take care and we'll talk later. Bye bye.